everybody? It's Crazy with Crazy Dreaming, and I'm back for the third episode of Farlight Explorers. And I've been work off camera, done quite a bit. If you look behind me back there, I've built quite a base back here, including all the stuff we needed for the technology to get the tech points and the bio points that would afford us to be able to build a spaceship, which I did, and there's the spaceship. Get my oxygen going here. So the problem with it is after I completed the technology and unlocked the spaceship, the spaceport, I built the spaceport, it's right there, that's what the ship is sitting on. And right next to it is the fuel what do you call it, that I built. Let's see here. Give me a second. Is it in this stuff? I built all this stuff. That's the spaceport. This says spaceship. This is core ship module, map module, ship controller, spaceship solar generator, and ship engine. So I built all this stuff. And all I had to do was build this. Because once I figured out how to use it, which was hitting it on my action bar and then hitting the G button, it deployed it. And it's got everything, so I didn't even need any of this other stuff. Anyway, maybe it's for parts, who knows. But the bottom line is I can't figure out how to use it. You can't find any information online about it. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard spot. And, you know, I don't know if I'm the first guy to build the ship, but I can't find any videos on it, so I don't know. But this is what it looks like. That is the spaceport that it's sitting on. I built it up off the ground so that it would be near the fueling station, which is this right here. How I get fuel from here into here, or where to put it in here, is beyond me. Now, I noticed that on the side of this thing, this is a port, and it's probably where the fuel comes out. That's what I'm thinking, because I couldn't find any place else where it would be. So it would come out of there, and then I found some similar looking things like here. I don't know if the fuel connects here, because this says this is an oil tank. Oil needed 100 LS and liters a second. It says oil level is 0, so I don't know if I'm supposed to put fuel in here, because there's two to them. There's one on the other side as well, and it also has a port. Now I don't know if there's a hose you can build for this, because I can't find a blueprint for it, if there is. And then, or if you just pipe it. It seems kind of silly to me. And then back here is, these are the engines. And I know this because this is what the engine looks like. And so, and it's got these little drips on them, and it says power needed 750 watts. Internal battery 0. Water needed 10 LS. Mass 18.5. Fuel is 0. Engine power is 0. Warp engine power is 0. Power mass engine 0. Power mass warp engine 0. Engine power 0. Warp engine power is 0. So none of that means anything to me. And so I have no idea what that means. And I don't know what these little holes are for. It has one on both sides. I don't know if this is some sort of coupler that we're supposed to use to build these engines, or I have no idea. I'm just totally lost. Yep. There's another port here for something. I think it probably is one on this side. Nope, it's not one on this one. This must be the mapping system here, and this must be controls or something. Because at first I couldn't even figure out how to get in this thing. Let's see what this says. It says it's a water tank. That's an oxygen tank. Okay, so that's for the ship, I guess. so that you can breathe and keep the ship breathable. I'm not sure what this is. It won't tell me. These are solar arrays, obviously. Knows what those are. This is the battery. It's at 0 charge. So I'm just kind of confused, and I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. The ship is actually exactly the same on both sides. It's identical. So for whatever's on this side, there's an opposite one on this side. It's a pretty ugly ship, but hey, who might have complained? I just want to go get some more ore. Anyway, so you enter from underneath here. Or at least that's how I got in. Turn off my jetpack. And so you can move around in here, and then this says press use to move the spaceship, and once inside hold alt to change the view. So I'm holding alt, but it ain't doing anything. And back over here, it's just giving me information. Now I don't know if this is the controller. It looks like a handle to control the ship. And just telling me all the same things. Press use to initiate space jump. I don't know what use is. Is use G? Oops. Pop one of my buttons off. What did I do? Anyways, I don't know what I'm supposed to do for sure. It did change the view though. Obviously I did something. But I like this view better. Anyhow, so this is what the spaceship looks like, just in case you were wondering. And if anybody has any information about it, if you want to share it in the comments, I'd appreciate it. 'Cause I'm totally lost, man. Old people, right? Anyways, I'm going to give you a short kind of tour of what I've done. So this is the spaceport, and it just comes with this top piece here. These legs were on it, and I went ahead and built these legs and built this platform to the ground. And I did that because I wanted it to be near the fueling station. This is a water pump that I set up so that because this thing has to connect the some reason I needed water. What was it for? Oh, for the fuel. Okay, so this thing needs water, so I found this little water hole, and I stuck the water pump in there, connected up to this thing, and I fed it some coal, and it now has, let's take a look at it. Internal tank value is 1196 and falling. I don't know why. It was at 2,000 a minute ago, so I don't know why it's lower. I don't know if that's because we're proximity to the ship. It says fuel pumped 100 LS. So it's pumping fuel somehow. I don't know how. So maybe it's filling the ship. Yet everything says it's empty. Let me go underneath here. Let me go over here. Since it's 0, 0, and this says there's no fuel. It was at 0. So does that thing in the inside. Anyway, but that's the ship. That's what it looks like. I have oxygen right here. Let me grab some oxygen and I'll take you over to the other base and kind of show you what's going on. It's kind of a mess, but I wasn't going for pretty. I was going for functionality, and because I wanted to try to hurry up and get this ship done. Those are the turrets that I built. I built them around every place that I work or had equipment to protect them from those guys so I wouldn't have to keep stopping to kill them like in the beginning. Alright, let's move on. So this is the original base that I built. It has the oxygen pump and the biodome, which I have over 1,000. I have like 1,200 food, so I don't even get anything from it anymore. Anyways, I've switched from using solar, by the way. I use coal now for everything. Each one of them gives 10,000 watts, so it's more than ample. And this is the other base. This is where all the ore was located when I came to this planet. So I couldn't build it next to that base. And so I had to move out here. It started off small, but now it's become pretty complex and there's a lot of stuff going on here. Now, it makes sense to me, but it may not make sense to some of you that don't know what's going on. Anyways, this deck up here is where I built all these. And I'll show you in the menu what those are. Those are all of these modules, little factories. BioPoints factory, Tech Points factory. You need one of each of these to make the BioPoints go up and down. Go up so that you can, once you get BioPoints, then you can come here and like go to structures and see how I've completed all these already. But like the fuel factory, which is over there by the ship, cost 100 tech points, so you didn't need any BioPoints. And Space Force costs 200 tech points and 50 BioPoints, and the Spaceship costs 250 tech points and 70 BioPoints. These numbers are not hard to reach. If you go to the science over here, I completed the first one in Computer Labs. Computer Lab generates 100% more tech and BioPoints. That's why I did this, just to help boost that, because it was taking forever. Now I wanted to do the second one, but yeah, it's 1,000 tech points and 150 BioPoints to complete that. But it would give you a total of 200%. And then the third one is 300%, but that's 2,000 tech points and 500 BioPoints. And that would have took like 2 weeks. I wasn't willing to sit around and wait for that. So I just went for the chopped liver of everything, so to speak, and went for the fuel factory, the spaceport, and the spaceship, because I'd like to get off the planet and see how that works, and go to another planet where they have coal and oil, or they have oil and some of the other stuff they don't have on this planet. So that being said, that's how I did this is how come I set all this up. Now the way this works is, this thing here is probably empty now. Yeah, it turns copper ingots into copper springs. You take the copper springs out. This does what's called iron bars. I don't know why they call them bars, because they're round. But the iron ingots make this. And so I set those up so that they could make the ingots in the copper, because you need these. Because together they get built in this one here, which is the electromagnet factory, and it takes looks like it ran out. It takes these, the iron bars, which actually is a cylindrical thing, and matches them with the spring and creates an electromagnet. You need the electromagnets, which you put into this one. It actually goes in this one as well. I got 2 of these so I could make it faster. Anyways, so you open that up. See, it's got 19 now. It's missing something. I think it's the gears, the steel gears. Let's see if that changes it. Yep. Okay, so it just needed some steel gears. Anyways, I could split these, drop them in here. This thing will run for as long as it's got these. And it's making the advanced electrical cell. The electrical cells go all the way right here in the Tech Point factory you put them in there in this box, and it makes points. Oops, it generates points for the tech, and so you get tech points for that. So if I took this capsule, advanced electrical cell, and I took it over here and I put it in here, in the end, it's going to dissipate, but nothing. I don't see anything here. Where you see it is on the tech point side. So if we watch, the tech point should move. See, it went to 209 as it consumes that. Anyhow, that's how you make those. And then this, like I said, makes this bringing the rod, the bar, into a magnet, electromagnet. And then over on this side is for the biopoints. And then this makes the biopoint stuff. And how it works is it takes the biomagic, this and this, but it needs one of these to generate the gel it needs, which feeds that. So I would add this up here, and then it will make a gel, biogel. Take the biogel, bring it over here, put it in the biopoints factory, and it'll generate points. I don't know if we'll see anything. It's 148.5. Yep, it moved. Huh. Looks like it went down. Anyway, so, but yeah, that's how that works. But anyway, so that's why I built this setup, and that's what that was for. I'm using 3 coal generators here. Each one produces 10,000 watts, so that's 30,000 watts. If I look at my line here, I'm utilizing quite a bit of that. I'm using 21,750, which leaves 8,250 watts left over available to be used. But I've been busy and I've been building a lot of things so that I could get this stuff put together. Batty over there. Kill him real quick. Anyways, and so in the build menu, I haven't seen a lot of people using these, but these are the big spotlight. These things are just like fantastic. That's what these are. This is right here. And I kind of strategically placed them all the way around. There's some over there. There's some more right here. And when you place them right, it'll light this whole area up like daylight. Anyway, so this is the base where most of the ore was located near. And so there was a bunch of small pockets of ore here. It wasn't big nodes, but it was enough to complete what I needed to do. I ran a bunch of my power up through the sky like this because I was tired of trying to jump over it down here when I was working down here. So I've got all kinds of little factories built down here that are doing all kinds of little different things. And as you progress, you're going to get to a point where most of that stuff you're not going to really need that much anymore. And so I kind of, what do you call it, carnaged them and broke them down into little sections so they're not complete factories anymore, and only used them for what I needed. Like this here is making these, the iron or the steel. I need the steel up here in this, and what this is doing is it's making steel plate. Take the steel plate from here, and I walk it over here and I dump it in here, and then this turns that into steel gears. Steel gears and steel plates are necessary for this because as you look at here, this one's missing. It doesn't have any steel gears. I'll grab a couple right now and stick them in there, and it'll start going again. See? But you got to feed these machines that stuff, and all of them except for this one, which only uses springs and the bars to make the magnets. The others, they all use the screw or the gears and the steel sheets. Steel gears and steel sheets. I made in the beginning I didn't know that, and so I made a ton of like copper sheets and a ton of iron sheets, which I could turn into gears, but they were pretty useless. It didn't have any bearing on what I was trying to accomplish. So I have a bunch of that stowed away down there. Anyways, so as you can see, it's not very pretty, but it worked. It accomplished what I needed. I've of course got turrets set up all over the dang place so that no matter where these guys show up, they get shot. This here, the only place on this whole planet that I could find coal was a pocket over there. It's over 22,000 um, uh, ore in that ore pocket. Like most of them, some of these ore pockets that are around here are like maybe 4,000, maybe 5,000. That thing is 22,000. It's over there. That's why that's all lit up over there, and that's what this is about. Because what I did is I set up conduit so that I could pump it over here. Problem was I couldn't get the conduit to function correctly. For some reason it just wasn't working. And I'm not sure if the developers are still working with that and there's a bug in it or what, but I couldn't get it to work. So this was all a waste of time and effort. It looked cool and I thought it would really be cool, but it didn't, and it doesn't work. And so I just left it. A lot of material that went to waste. I can salvage it, but you can't. The thing about this game that I wish they would maybe take a second look at is being able to salvage the equipment and break it down into its original stuff that you used. Because I can salvage all of this conduit, but I just can't use it for anything, so it just takes space. If I could break it back down to the materials I used to make it, that would be fantastic. Anyhow, so over here, so I built this thing, but I wanted to protect it from the meteorites that happened here, and so I placed a bunch of guns along the way at strategic points so that they could shoot the meteors as they fell and keep this from getting damaged. Alright, so this is the area where I found the coal. There's a copper node right in front of it, actually. That's 21,600. I mean, these are big nodes. I also happen to find a uranium node over here, and it's at 11,036. Now, I've been mining that stuff, not knowing really what to do with it. I know it's in the game, and it will be used for something, but I don't know what it is yet. So I just stuck this on here. I come over here whenever I'm here, and I'll grab what's ever available. But yeah, that's a big node. And then I stuck the lights here, so it will kind of help light it up, and of course, I put a turret here. Here's another node. That one's 22,200. So I mean, it's these are huge nodes that are over here. Only problem is it's just copper, uranium, and coal. There's nothing anywhere close except for way over there. And so it's just luck of the draw or whatever. So I tried to make the best of it, and it's worked out okay because I actually made it to building the ship. I just can't fly the dang thing because I don't know how it functions or how to use it. Very kind of it doesn't say a whole lot about it. I mean, the tutorial book, if you look it up, you look under Spaceship, basically it doesn't tell you a whole lot. In order to build a spaceship, you have to build a spaceship core or a complete spaceship. Both are blocks of the building list. Now see, I got all of that stuff thinking that was all needed to go together, but it doesn't. You can just build the spaceship, complete the spaceship construction of the blueprint or whatever, and it's in your hotbar, and then it deploys a full-size spaceship. And I actually couldn't figure out how to do that until I came here, and it said to deploy in front of it. Said this block can't be put near other block or the ground. It has to be deployed in front of the player in a clear zone by pressing the G key. That's how I figured it out. I highlighted it on my hotbar and then hit G, and boom, it appeared. Once the core is deployed, you can build near the core something you want. Every block put near the core will belong to the spaceship. So I guess you can use the other fragments and just build your own ship. I don't know how you would do that, what material you would use, or how you would shape everything, but because to me, with the building blocks here, everything would be like built like square. You know what I mean? I don't know. Once the core is deployed, you can build it. Okay, so that's important. Deploy your ship core in a big clear area. You will need space to put other blocks. So I mean, and that's it basically. It doesn't give us any more information about flying it or how it works or any of that. So I don't know. You know, like I said, I'm liking the game. It's very complex, and you have to really think about what you're doing, you know, and plan things out. You know, otherwise you can end up in kind of a mess. But anyways, you know, this playthrough that I've done so far, you know, and I've only been playing about 3 days. It hasn't been bad. You know, it's been kind of entertaining and fun. I've actually enjoyed it and stuff. The monsters here are pretty weak, so that it's not like those are a hindrance. They are in the beginning as you're kind of learning what's going on or whatever, because you constantly have to stop what you're doing to shoot at them. You know, once you get to this technology, which the knowledge that I have now, I could do all this in a day. You know, in maybe 4 or 5 hours, I could complete all of this. Because now I know what to do. I didn't know what to do before. You kind of fumble around. But anyhow, so yeah, we went through it. We made it through the technology phase. We got the spaceship. You know, I mean, there's other things that you could do here, like structures. Okay, well, not structures, production. Now, it's got two trees on every one of these: production, extraction, electricity. And the only thing these do is like production one, research needed in order to increase the future production of factories and furnaces. What that means, God me, I don't understand. This one, production speed, 10% speed increase of the production in factories and furnaces. Needs tech points needed is 100. Well, you know, that's all good and well. You know, so what it's saying basically, I guess, is that, you know, the manufacturing process speeds up. Belts move faster, things happen a little quicker or whatever. You know, but this future thing, I have no idea how that affects you. You know, I could research this stuff, but I don't see the point. And then also, you know, I think that when you start a game, it's just like a lot of the games are now. You know, it's like a seed thing. It's a random, you know, luck of the draw thing where you land. Because the galaxy I landed in is different than galaxies I've seen, like say on YouTube, of people that have begun to play this game. You know, and I looked at some of the videos and when I was trying to figure out how to fly the spaceship, but nobody seems to have done that yet. So I'm sure somebody will figure it out, or I'll figure it out in the next day or so. But I just wanted to throw this out there because I was working the video yesterday, but I got really tied up trying to figure some things out when I ended the last video, and so I got, of course, kind of hooked in it, and I just kept going and going and going and building, and kind of figuring out the direction I needed to move so I could get to this point, which is kind of the end point to get. It's not the end point of the game by a long shot, but it's the point I needed to get to, so that I gotta go get some oxygen. But it's the point I needed to get to so that I could build the spaceship, so that I could take a trip to some of the outlying planets and collect some of the ore that and materials that aren't resources that aren't available on this planet. I mean, this looks kind of strange to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Actually, I am crazy. So, hope you guys had a good time. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out. I'm trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. Hit the bell. You'll get a notification when we get ready to drop the next video. I make other videos, so you can look around, playlists and whatnot. Maybe you'll find something else you like. Also, I know this video is kind of short today because I'm kind of stumped, and I don't really want to do anything else if I can figure out what's going on. And so I'll be back with some more on this in the next few days, as soon as I kind of figure out what I need to do next. And if you guys know something that I don't hesitate to leave comments. Appreciate it. Take care, have a great evening or day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.